Hi, let's discuss about how to use the style sheets in React.js. So far we talked about how to use the inline styles, whereas external style sheet help in managing the global styles. Let's see the advantages of them. External style sheets. Styles are defined in an external CSS file and it helps in separating our component logic. So we are trying to separate the CSS definitions from our component logic. The advantage is it encourages the separation of concerns. Means if you want to have the styles, better go do with the style sheets, and if you want to have any the component internet interaction logic, you do it in the functional component JS file. So all the CSS styles are scoped to global and it can affect multiple components. When these styles you define at global level as they are referred at globally, it can affect all other components. Should be very careful and what are the styles we are trying to define in the globally. And in order to avoid the conflict, you should be very careful in using the selectors that affects the global styles. And if you want the same style to be applicable across multiple components compared to the inline styles, global style sheets are very right approach to do that. So if you do change at one global styles, it will be all affected at the all components. So if you want component specific styles, better go for the inline styles. If you want the styles that are applicable across multiple components, go for the external CSS style sheets. And external style sheets are very static. Means if you want to apply the styles based upon the state of the component, otherwise the property of the component, it is not that easy to apply the styles based upon the property or state value. Okay, let's see how an example. So here on right hand side we are importing the style.css, and on the div there is a special this you know that this is a JSX. There is a special property called as class name. You make a note of that this is being a camel case. And on the left hand side in a CSS file, which is a standard CSS file definition, we are trying to define a my class which has color, font size, padding and background color. We are importing in our my component and we are applying that as a class name. This is as simple as that. Let's try to update our components with that. So I'll go and try to create a new component called as my component one. So here I want to create a component called as my component one. So in this my component one style sheet, I want to go and define the component. So let me go and try to define this as a arrow function. So I'm going to close this. Yeah, I want to even export this my component as of now. So I want to go and import my styles. So in order to yeah, so let's go and define the styles dot css first. Let's go and try to define styles dot css. So what I do here, I'm going to define my class, and yeah, so let's go and try to define the color red, and we can define the multiple styles based upon our need. So in this case you can go and specify the padding. And try to define padding as 10 pixel and margin as 10 pixel border, and at the same time we can specify the background color also. So what we can do now, we'll go and import that styles one. So we can go and say import the styles. So if you want to import the styles, we need to specify the relative path explicitly. So what I do here, I'm going to specify the relative path here. So we have styles dot css, yes, and let's go and import. And now I'll go to my h1 tag and specify the class name as the my class, the specific styles which have been defined. Okay, so let's see, styles has been defined with this, right? We have imported. Go to our app.js and we can go and import my component one. So let's go and try to import the my component one. So my component one automatically go and import here. and then we are trying to specify in our things here. Okay, let's go and try to specify the my component one styles. Yes, so let me try to run this example. So it says, okay, it says SILTS, it's not SILTS. So let's go to our my component one. It should be styles. The name should be exactly matches. So styles, yeah, styles.css, yeah, it is working fine. Let's go and try to load it in our UI. If you observe, we are able to see my component one coming with yellow color. So if you go and try to inspect, if you want to highlight that specific style, you can see that it has applied with the my class color, so which has been imported from the styles.css with color, font size and all mentioned here. So we are able to see the background color as yellow as specified and the color as red however has been specified. So in summary, if you want the styles that should be applicable across all the components, better go for the external style sheets. So you can specify the styles and define all the respective classes there, and you can go to your component and import that styles and apply the class name accordingly.